Hello and welcome to the Manifest to Live Life Golden Show. This is episode 79. You can manifest anything you want when you truly live from higher consciousness. So, we're going to have another conversation about higher consciousness. I am coming to new levels. And as I come to new levels, the manifestational abilities that I have right now are blowing my mind. I'm going to give you a couple of little manifestation stories that just happened to me so that you can write on my beliefs if you need to. But the awareness that I'm coming to, these higher levels of awareness, this is a new level of spirituality that there's a lot we have to let go of before we can come to this, because we are brought up in societies where we are taught that we are not powerful. We're taught that, the government has power over us. We're taught that religion has power over us. We're taught that, God is this separate being. So I'm going to get deep today. And if it doesn't resonate with you, just leave it, because there's these levels of spirituality that we're going through. There's a reason why you're tuning into this podcast, and there's a reason why I have come into your life. And I always say, I don't come unless you're ready. And by ready, I mean, and that's not, I'm not putting myself above you. I'm saying, but the readiness is all about letting go of the old stories of victimhood and powerlessness and lack and limitation. If you want to be on this train, we have to tune into belief systems that say, I am in control, I am powerful, I am a creator, and start taking that massive responsibility of, where is my attention right now? Where am I allowing my focus to be? And understand how life is reflecting all of that to you. Everything you have going on within is being reflected without. So today's conversation is going to be one, woo, it's going to be buckle your seatbelts, people. All right. So waking up to new levels, it's showing yourself how powerful you are by mastering your responses. And I am not perfect at this, but geez Louise, I'm watching this incredible process. And that's the beauty of being aware. And that's the beauty of having a solid meditation practice. When I say solid, I am solid to my meditation practice. There is rarely a day goes by that I don't have that quiet time, because I know how important it is. And if you knew how important it is, you would never blow it off either. Like somebody asked me the other day, what's your schedule? Like, do you have a thing that you do every day? So this is, if you want to live life golden, this is it. Like, my intention every day is to put my vibration in the highest possible place. So right now I am not drinking alcohol. That's part of me putting myself in the highest vibrational place. I know this, and I revisit alcohol just to show myself this, I think. I don't know, but I'm not drinking alcohol, and I don't know. It's been a couple of weeks. So I can feel my vibration has raised. Just from that little thing alone, I can feel my vibration has raised. So when I get up in the morning, 4:17, everybody knows I get up at 4:17 now. I go downstairs, make all of our stuff for the gym, and then I sit down and I do my posts. And the reason why I do it that early is because I've got to, when I get up in the morning, and this is when you get up in the morning as well, you have slept all night long. So you've allowed your consciousness to really settle. You've allowed yourself to go back into a higher state of consciousness while you sleep. And when you get up in the morning, it's the first opportunity you have to create freshness, to create a new vibration, to create a whole new energy field around you. That's very exciting to me that we have every day to do this. People say like there's a feeling around days, like Mondays have this, dread around them. Fridays have this woohoo, it's Friday, right? Thank God it's Friday. Fun Friday. I've created Fun Friday, but every single day has the potential to be whatever you decide it is. And for me, getting myself in readiness for this, like really preparing my vibration, is super important. It's of the utmost importance, because if I don't put myself in a good place, if you don't put yourself in a good place, you are subject to default, which means everything that's going on around you is going to tune your vibration. So you have to be the master of your vibration. And if you want to be in mastery, you got to connect with your foundation. You got to create that foundation first thing in the morning. So I do my little post, because I get my little channel going first thing in the morning. And then I go to the gym and I do my workout. And that's usually a pretty high vibrational thing because there's really good music. It's an intense workout. I'm with a bunch of fun people. Let me tell you, these workouts, these group workouts, when you're with a bunch of people and you're all doing the same thing and you're all feeling the same pain, there's something truly to be said about this. Like, it's really vibration raising. So then I leave the gym, I come home, I make some coffee, I take a couple of sips, and then I leave my house to go for my nature walk. And I try to do that before 7 because we have school traffic. So I try to get out before the school traffic and I try to get to these nature walks before all the high school kids start running. This morning, I had to pass all of them. It's nicer to be out there in the quiet. So then I go for my nature walk, 30 minutes. Sometimes I do a video during that. I do a video during that because I'm feeling inspired. And man, does that raise my vibration. Doing a video sharing what's coming through raises my vibration. I come home, drink the rest of my coffee, go on Facebook a little bit and Instagram just to like connect and engage with people. I sit down, I do my meditation. And I do my meditation before I start any kind of work for the day or any kind of I guess I do my posts and my videos before that, but it's like before I get into my to-do list, I meditate. And this is why, because meditation is going to give you that connection to higher consciousness that's going to give you those intuitive hits that allow you to do the things that would be best supported in the energy field of what you're trying to create. So it's intention. It's setting an intention for the day. I'm going to put myself above the to-do list, right? That connection between myself and higher consciousness and the life that I am living is of the utmost importance so that I can be prepared to hear, right? They say that praying is talking to God, meditating is listening to God. So it's quieting that mind, it's opening yourself up to that connection of all that is, that connection that's going to give you the intuitive hits, the promptings, oh, this is a good idea, the inspirations, the ideas. That's where all of that flow comes from. I have to put myself there every day because being in that space every day becomes something that drives my life force. It drives the intention of what I'm looking to create, which is to be in the higher fields of energy. If you want to be in the higher fields of energy, if you want to experience abundance, if you want to experience joy, satisfaction, love, you have to get yourself in higher consciousness because that's where all of these beautiful high energies are and where you're going to be able to create more of them from. So that's the first thing. If you feel at any moment during your day, so you're going along your day, you meditated, you got your foundation all set, and then something happens, right? That's like less than optimal. So somebody says something, somebody does something, or it looks like something's going to happen that you don't like. You may start to feel yourself get triggered. And then, you can feel it when you're talking. You start to get a little more expressive when you're talking. I get accused of yelling at people and I'm like, I'm not even raising my voice, but it's the expression, right? It's that intense emotion that you start to feel because you're kicking and screaming actually about what's about to happen. Like you're not accepting what a person did or what you think is going to play out. So when you start to feel that, the best thing you can do is just stop. And this is what I've been doing. So I've just been stopping, right? Like as soon as I start to go in a direction and I can feel myself connecting with things, responding to things, connecting with energies about what I don't want to create, we can all feel it. You got to be aware. You got to be super aware. And then you've got to get not just aware of your thoughts, but aware of your feelings. So once you get aware of, oh, I'm starting not to feel so good, you got to let it go. I got to let it go because I have to let it go to allow for something else. I have to let it go so that something new can come to me. Because remember, when we grab onto these problems, when we grab onto these worst case scenarios, we don't allow for the energy field to unfold in our solutions or to unfold in things working out for us, honestly, right? So fun let me just finish this up and then I'll give you my fun manifestation story. So you can meditate, you can journal, you can heal, you can breathe it out. Work from a place where you are literally cleaning up your vibration. So, when you start to let go and you start to create space between your responses and how you feel and the projection of what you want to happen, that's when you become an extremely powerful creator. So one of the things recently I've been saying, like, I can't be triggered, and that probably is untrue. Yeah, that's untrue. However, things in the past that have triggered me so easily no longer do. So yes, is there a potential? I kind of like the belief system of I cannot be triggered. But the truth is, a couple things happened the other day when we were on our bikes in Newport, and we had done a couple of stupid things. So, like, everybody is in their own little worlds, right? And then we do things that might actually disrupt somebody else's world on our bikes, or like we were walking and we were talking, and we were trying to figure out where we were going, and we were standing in the middle of the street, and someone was trying to pass. And we're just like, oh my God, we're so sorry. And then we were met with kindness and love and a wave. And it was great. That was the vibrational frequency we were in. So as things were happening to us, like as a bike would cut us off, or as somebody would do something, we'd get in each other's way, there was this energy field around us of love and acceptance. And man, did that just fuel the day. So just realize, like, these little tiny triggers, people in traffic, people in line, people at the store, all of those little tiny triggers are chipping away at your vibration and lowering it slowly but surely. And as these things happen, and then you tell people about them, you are facilitating them even more. So if I have a negative thing happen, especially the little things, I will not share them with my family or my husband for the most part, unless I'm processing something, or unless I need to vent something. It's okay to vent things. You just don't want to be constantly complaining and telling everyone you're bullshit. But it's okay to vent things, because we do need to process. We do need to talk about things, but do it with someone who's not like misery loves company. Do it with someone who's going to help you to see your blind spots. So in this idea of nothing triggers me, you got to be in a really good place. You got to be in a mastery of place. You've got to set that vibrational tone and that dial constantly. And this is where people get tripped up. This is an every moment, every single day game. You don't get a day off from this. You don't get to just be a shitty person and expect really great things to happen. You don't get to go back to your patterns and then create something great. The idea is, we take every single moment, we take every opportunity to process, to see what we need to clean up, to heal, to journal, to take those things that are happening that we are maybe creating from a cycle and saying no more. We're putting an end to that cycle. I'm not living that any longer. We talk a lot in our family, at least one of my daughters talks to me a lot about generational cycles and the things that my husband and I have done to break generational cycles. One is alcoholism. We both have a long family history of alcoholism, and we both had tendencies to become people that drank way too much and way too often. And because of our awareness, because of our meditating, because of our healing, and because of our decision to live a high vibrational life, we have been able to cut that out substantially. And because of that, our children are seeing that, and it is breaking a generational cycle. My two younger ones barely ever drink, if ever drink. My second daughter has been sober for 2 years, and my older daughter has the same awarenesses that we do. So breaking generational cycles. Another generational cycle we broke, we were both screamed at as kids. Like, we both had families that yelled a lot. We both had families that, parents that got super upset with us about stuff. And I think that's one of the things that is like blowing my mind about my husband right now. I got to brag on him a little bit right now. Not brag on him, but I got to just share some of the things that I've been watching from him, because he's such an amazing master of being lighthearted. And I said to him the other day, he's 52. I said, I'm so glad you're not a grumpy dad. We still have an 18-year and almost 21. So 19, almost 19 and 21-year-old living with us. And, they do their things and they have their issues and, and sometimes they're up at, it's pretty early when they're making noise and having fun with their friends. And we're both just in so much love and joy for them to be enjoying life that my husband just doesn't get cranky about it. And I don't either, but it's so amazing to be on a team that is like all for love. So he always kind of points me in the direction. He helps me to see where I need to be healed. He helps me to see where my triggers are. And oftentimes, and I put this on Facebook today, he says, doing nothing is doing something sometimes. Allowing the energy, just pausing, reflecting, just taking yourself a step back. So when you feel triggered, it means you're not texting the person back right away. If somebody sends a text and it sets you off, do not answer that. Whoever said we had to answer texts right away? I don't know. I don't know who said that. Like this, instant gratification world, we can take time, right? They don't know what you're doing. They don't know if you're on your phone. They don't know if you're in the shower. So just take the time that you need to process before you respond, especially if you're in a triggered state. So take some space. When you take that space, ask yourself, what do I really want to happen in this? Because if you are triggered, you are absolutely in the direction of what you do not want, and you are in the energy field of the problem. So in order to turn yourself, you've got to turn yourself towards the solution, because the solution and the energies are different vibrations, by asking yourself, what do I really want to happen? Not what do I think is possible, not what does it look like it's going to happen, not fighting against what's happening, but instead, at the end of the day, at the end of this situation, how do I want it to turn out? So you start turning yourself in that direction. How do you know if you're in the problem or in the solution? By how you feel. If you feel like you're fighting something, if you feel like you're in a bunch of resistance to something and you're not accepting it and you're really frustrated, you're in the problem. You're in the problem. If you're fretting, if you're running around in desperate energy, just trying to move things around, trying to push energy into place, you're absolutely in the problem. If you're in the solution, you will feel relief. You will feel peace. You will feel like everything's going to be okay. You'll be in trust. You'll be in faith, and you'll just have a much calmer feeling about you. You will settle. You'll settle yourself. So that's how you know if you're in solution. And the way to do it is honestly meditating, journaling, setting intentions for your vibrational frequency, doing more things that make you feel good. I've talked a lot about forest bathing. I cannot scream it from the rooftops enough right now. Getting out in nature for just 30 minutes a day has changed my life. And I realized this morning why this feels so good to me and why I've made it so important. So I've been doing it for probably 3 weeks, and it started with Nigel Jones. He was on my episode, I'm not sure what number it is, in the 70s, Nigel Jones, Walking Back to Happiness. And one of the things I realized this morning is it feels so good because it's not about exercise. Because I go to the gym for an hour, so I'm good, right? I got muscles, I'm good. It's about being in nature. It's about listening to the birds. It's about feeling the air on my skin. It's about feeling the sunshine. And because of that, it's about getting in the vibration of well-being. That's what it's about. So that's really freaking important. Do you put any importance on that? Because that's so freaking important, because that's going to conduct a lot of your day, the rest of your day, in fact. So after I get done with this walk, this little walk, first of all, it's only 30 minutes, so I don't feel like it's necessary to really ever blow it off. Second of all, yesterday I'm being an influencer. Like, a couple of people from my family joined me on a Sunday. Like, doesn't usually happen. Usually on Sundays we kick back, we're a little bit lazy, can kind of get me a little depressed, which has not been happening because my husband has been joining me on these nature walks, and my youngest joined us yesterday, and she was like, this is wonderful. And I was like, I know, just being out in nature. And she knows this, but it was like starting your day out this way is like, it's the best. It's the closest thing to meditation, I think, that you can get as far as being in higher consciousness. So I'm listening to the birds this morning. They're just incredible. And I thought, putting this as an important thing in my life is taking my power back. It's taking my time back. It's putting myself in a place, instead of scrolling social media, it's putting myself in presence with myself. So yeah, so that came this morning. I was like, man, I got to share that because it's really, really impactful and powerful when you start to realize, okay, there's a couple things that I can do to make this life easier, to make this life more joyful, and to make my manifestational powers stronger. How often can I get myself in higher consciousness? Can I get myself out in nature? Can I take a few minutes and look up at the sky or the flowers or the trees and just contemplate the beauty, contemplate other energy, like contemplate that there is an energy going on around me that I am not fully aware of, and let me tune into it for a second. Wow. Let me tell you, that is super powerful. All right. So, your energy in regards to what is happening is an indication of your frequency and vibrational alignment. And your frequency and vibrational alignment up until this point in your life, you may not feel like you've had any control over it. Most people do not have control over their emotions. And a lot of the reasons is we're dumbing them down through drugs, through alcohol, through TV, through shopping, through addictions, right? And some people are just completely closed off. Their hearts are shut down. They've had traumas, they've been wounded, and they're not willing to open back up because if they deal with their feelings, a lot of people feel like they're going to lose their shit, like they're not going to be able to handle it. And if you do it in a process and you do it a little bit at a time, that's when you're going to be able to deal with it. The problem with a lot of people that don't deal with these emotions is suddenly they're in rage. Suddenly they do crazy things that they massively regret. Suddenly they end up with cancer. They end up with all these massive illnesses. So the body, the spirit, the self is going to call you to these things if you continue to ignore them. So I'm not saying that to make you fearful. I'm saying that to wake you up to doing your process, to doing some sort of evolutionary progress so that you don't have to be forced into it. Been there, done that, not fun. Okay. Okay, so we talked about in the problem and in the solution. We are flying through this today, people. Okay. So the feelings, I shared this, I'm going to share it again. When you start aligning with allowing and solution energy, you will feel relief. You will feel satisfaction. You will feel like a weight has been lifted off. And to be totally honest with you, nothing has to happen. The problem can still be out here. It can still be right here. It can still be activated. It can still be happening. What happens is you start feeling differently about it. You move away from it. You go into higher consciousness with it. So then you start to trust. You start to have faith. You start to have excitement, freedom, joy, because you're putting yourself in the vibration of the solution and the belief that everything always works out for me. When you start to do that, man, oof, yeah, solutions come fast. And geez, oh my goodness, when you realize how truly powerful you are, and you would literally, like, if you could really realize that, if you could really take this show and have it shift you, have it flip a switch within you. And you could wake up every day and be like, I am this powerful creator, and I'm going to get up and I'm going to be in charge of this day. I'm going to be in charge of my responses. You would leap out of bed because there would be no stress. There would be no issues. There would be no yucky, worry, angsty energy. There would just be flow. There would just be this ebb and flow. So today I have a lot of things to do. And let me see. This is where I'm going to share my little manifestation stories with you. So a lot of things going on right now. We're actually getting ready to launch our first retreat. I say ours because my husband is so supportive of everything I do. But I have a group of clients that I've worked with over the last year. They're my founding members for Ignite the Fire Within group. And over the last year, I have created so much content with them, and we've done a lot of teachings, and all of them, every single one of them has shifted into just a mastery of life and creating. And it's been a beautiful thing to watch. So I created this retreat. I rented a beach house in Newport, California. I'm so excited. It's one of my favorite places to be. It's only about 20 minutes from my house, but whatever. So my retreat is happening and starting this Wednesday. So the women that are coming had they had booked their flights for Wednesday, and we don't get the beach house until Thursday. And I said, that's fine. I'll give you the full Duffy experience. You can stay at my house. We'll cook you dinner. You can meet with my family. And then Thursday we'll go to the beach house. So I thought to myself, it would be really great if we could get the beach house on Wednesday, because then I don't have to house people in my house, and I don't have to deal with my girls being up late and waking people up, and the whole thing. So I was like, wouldn't that be great? So I mentioned it to my husband, and this guy that owns this house kind of has become a friend of ours. We've rented from him another beach house twice before. And I said, can you just contact the guy and see if it's available on Wednesday, and maybe he'll give it to us for no charge. So my husband said, sure, I'll do that. Just not yet. So my husband very much works from inspiration, and he does things when he feels called to do them. So I mentioned it again yesterday, and I said, oh yeah, we got to get in touch with him. And, I would have done it 2 weeks ago, because that's just the way I operate. But he's like, yeah, okay, I'm going to do it. So yesterday we get an email from the gentleman that property manages for this place. And he says, hey, we had a change in the schedule today, and I just wanted to let you guys know it's available on Wednesday if you want to come for no extra charge. And I lost it. I was jumping up and down. I'm so happy my kids got to witness this. I was jumping up and down in the kitchen. I'm like, we did it. I'm like so pumped. And I say we because my husband is so manifesting this with me. And it's fun to share. It's fun to share the credit with people. And it just felt so amazing. And it's so funny how many times I have manifested things and I still get so incredibly surprised and delighted and excited. And I feel like that's okay. Like that's part of it, right? Like just showing yourself literally your manifestational abilities is super duper fun. So now we get to go on Wednesday, and then our retreat is until Sunday. And then my family is coming for 5 days after that. And we're going to just enjoy some beach time and family time and love. And this house is absolutely beautiful. And we made that happen. I made that happen through my own intention of, I'm going to do this thing. I'm going to put this thing together, and I'm going to allow that, extra couple of days for my family. And so, you have the ability to do anything. And the thing about staying in these beach houses, and again, this is not a brag, but these are like $6-7 million houses. And we've rented twice before for our family. And this is the first time, I've kind of done this on my own, not on my own, but obviously kind of intended it and made it, had it work out. So being in that energy field of being in a beach house, right, is like the most coolest thing. Like it is the most vibration raising thing to know what it's like to live in a beach house and to stay there and to connect with those energies and to be in that field of living. This is Shay and Lulu. Shay and Lulu. My podcast people can't see you, but YouTubers can see it. So you got to hop over to YouTube and subscribe so you can see our little Lulu and my baby Shay. Oh, you guys are great. Yeah, so they're excited because, well, Lulu's not, but Shaylin is excited about going to the beach house. Special appearances. Thanks, babe. Say, it's all good. It's all good. We got family, we got people. It's all good. All right. So we'll hop back into just the idea of this mastering manifestation. And if you want to do something like years ago, I've been intending the beach house thing for a pretty solid long time. Like when I thought about moving to California 10 years ago, this beach house was in my mind, like just living in a beach house. It's something that I desire very strongly. The beach is something that really calls to me. I love it there. If you looked at the reality of the situation and what these beach houses go for, $10 million, $6 million, that would feel probably a little daunting, but it doesn't feel that way to me. I feel in vibrational alignment with it. So I know that it is a logical step for my life. I know it. Like I know it. When you know something, you become that. And that's what staying in these places really does for me. And it's continually up leveling my situation. All right. So here we go. I've been reading Neville Goddard. And if you've never heard of Neville Goddard, the book I'm reading is called Infinite Potential. He wrote At Your Command. So Neville Goddard is a writer from the 1930s, speaker, 1930s, right around the time of like Napoleon Hill. And he wrote his writing is so dense. I told my husband, it's like chewing and swallowing nails. Like often you have to read the sentences over again. And I've read Neville before. It always affects me, but it's a lot. It's very dense writing, and it's kind of, you've really got to kind of meditate on it and marinate on it. So if you're in the beginning of your spiritual journey, your manifesting journey, you might not want to start with that because it's really intense. If you want to start with something really great, if you're in the beginning of your manifestation journey, hop on to my book, Mindful Manifestations. I've actually got the free Kindle version right now that I'm giving out in exchange for reviews. We're working to get the reviews up on the book so that it gets seen on Amazon. So it helps the algorithm on Amazon for reviews. So if you have read my book and you can review it, oh my goodness, I would love that so much. And if you'd like a free copy of the Kindle, you can email me at livelifegolden@gmail.com or connect with me on Facebook or Instagram, and I'll send you the link. The thing about if you don't like the Kindle, it's available on Amazon as well in the print. It is my manifestation journey from Connecticut to California, and all the things that happen to us and different things that have happened to us in our lives, and how we watch the energy field, and I tracked it. And I share that in this book. So it's a super quick read. It's 85 pages. I know people that have read it like in one beach sitting. I had a lady yesterday who posted and said she read it in one beach sitting, which was so cool. So if this is the beginning of your manifestation journey, or you want some extra help, that book is a great resource. Just let me know and I'll send you the free Kindle version. But Neville is intense, right? So we're going to get a little deeper here, because Neville's one of the awarenesses in the switches, I think, that just went off in me, is that Neville shares basically that there is no separation between us and God. So if you work from the higher fields of consciousness, that is where it's all connected. And we are literally an infinite stream of energy and expression, and we are all connected. Like we are all connected to this stream. And because of that, we are all powerful. And because of that, the reason why we don't manifest is because we keep forgetting that. If you ever knew it at all, if you keep forgetting it and you keep going back into your lack and limitation and doubts and your same responses, that's what's tripping up your manifestation game. You get really excited about something, or something happens that's not optimal and you're really pushing energy. You forget that you have this incredibly infinite connection, and you forget that there's a spiritual path to manifesting that allows for things to happen that are beyond your imagination, right? Like my limited potential of thinking was, hey, let's connect with the property manager and see if he'll let us do this. My husband's unlimited potential thinking was, let's just give it space and see what manifests. That's spiritual manifestation, and it's so much more rewarding. It is so much more rewarding. Of course, if I had, pushed the energy field on that and let the property manager know that I was interested in that Wednesday, and then it manifested, that would have been cool. But he also might have been like, okay, I'm going to charge you. So, that spiritual level of manifesting is a whole different level, where you are trusting, you have faith, and you're not so locked into the vision. It doesn't have to come a certain way. You kind of open yourself up and you go, I don't even know how this is going to manifest, but I know that it is. And I know that it's going to be grander than my limited thinking and belief system can create it as. So I'm going to allow the space. When you meditate, when you visualize, you allow those visions to come. Like when I'm visualizing my beach house, which I do almost every day, I put myself in the feeling place of this beach house. I don't necessarily have this like cookie cutter idea of what my beach house will be. I see certain things. I let the visions come. Michael Bernard Beckwith talks about visioning. Instead of visualizing, visioning is inviting in that God force energy to give you the pictures of what is being created, the pictures of things that are beyond your little limited thinking, beyond, right? Like $6 million house, maybe it's a $20 million house. I don't know, but I know it's going to be fantastic. And I can see the sun setting from it. And I can feel what it feels like to be overlooking that view. And that's vibrational alignment. And that is super powerful. Okay, so you don't have to believe any of this, but this is the thing. Okay, if you were one of the really interesting things about Neville that I caught that just hit me this time, like it hit me really hard. There were a lot of things that hit me in this book, and I highlighted a lot of them. And one of the things that really hit me was the idea of I am. So I am statements are super powerful because you are basically saying, I am this right now, not I'm going to be. If you're doing affirmations, don't go, I am going to be or I will. Put yourself in the I am place. That's present moment. I am abundant. I am. So one of the things that I caught was, oh my goodness, if I was to think more often when I close my eyes at night or when I wake up in the middle of the night or when I have a moment when I'm driving or I'm in the shower, if I have these thoughts, I am the I am, what changes? Everything changes. Every single thing changes. And as I've been doing this, the manifestational things around me that have been happening have been so cool, like turning lights green. Like the other day, I had to get home really fast. I am the I am, that light is green. And boom, the lights just turned green. And we have a lot of lights around here. I'm talking 10 green lights like in a row. So that I am the I am, just start practicing it. Because I think what's happening, no, I know what's happening. Things are being awakened within me from just stating that, from believing that, from trusting that. Like I am the I am. So the other day, my daughter was listening to something on TikTok, and she sent me this video, and it was this woman, and she was just sharing about spirituality and what's going on in the planets right now and blah, blah, blah. And one of the things she said that hit me really hard. So one of the things that I have struggled with in the past, and I'm no longer doing this, is just the algorithms on Facebook, right? Like you got to get yourself into the algorithm and you got to do certain things. You're going to screw up the algorithm. And I've done like, some research on that just to like work from like one of my energies was like, well, why isn't anybody seeing this? And why isn't anybody liking it? Like the stuff that I'm putting out is really good quality and the value is there. Like if people are reading my stuff, that value is there. The energy transmission through these channelings is there. And if you read my stuff, you will receive it. So I've been working on this and my definitely things are ramping up. I can feel it. The energy's ramping up. I'm getting a lot of feedback. I'm seeing a lot of things. I've got a lot of exchange going on, which is beautiful because I've been putting out a lot of value, right? We want to feel like an exchange in the value that we're giving. So law of compensation, right? Like everything we put out comes back. So I don't need money compensation. Like I don't need to do things and get paid every single time because I believe in the law of compensation. So I know as I'm putting out value, that value is coming back to me. And that's something I shifted a long time ago in my business. And I've definitely reaped the rewards of that. So I've been working with my podcast guy. And one of the things that he's wanted me to do, and I love him and he's my coach. And I listen to him for the most part and not for the most part, like, because at the end of the day, it's our internal guidance that moves me. That's what I go from. I go from my internal guidance. So if something doesn't feel right and I'm doing it and it doesn't feel right, that's a waste of energy, no matter what anybody is telling you. But I'm paying him good money. So I've been trying to listen to him. So he told me, you need to go into groups on Facebook. You need to grow this podcast because if you don't grow this podcast, your numbers are going to drop. And I'm like, I don't believe that. Like, I don't believe in that lack mentality. So that was one thing I connected with this week and why that philosophy isn't working for me. So he wanted me to go into different groups, start asking questions, start engaging with people, and then start building relationships in their inboxes to get them to listen to the podcast. Well, that feels very much like chasing people, that feels very inauthentic to me, that feels very not right to me. So we've been going back and forth about it. And I have been trying, but not doing it. Like, I'm not doing it because it's just doesn't feel right to me. So we decided this morning that I will go a different direction. And I do ask of all of you that if you do love this show and you do want to see it continue, please share it with your friends. If you have an episode that you think they would resonate with or that would really help them, there is an energy transmission in every one of my podcast episodes that people benefit from because I'm reminding them of who they are and I'm awakening something within them. So please share it because that would really help. If you all shared this, it would go gangbusters really fast. So that was one of the realizations I had around, the algorithm and things like that, because I have often thought, God, this algorithm is screwing me. And in my Manifest to Live Life Golden group, if you're not in there, get in there. It's on Facebook because I'm going to start sharing Facebook lives in there and different trainings. That group, I realized that I could start tagging at everyone and then everyone in the group would see it because groups used to be able to see everything going on in a group and it's not like that anymore. So I started tagging at everyone and I pissed a person off because they didn't want to be tagged and I'm just like, whatever, then leave the group, right? But this is the bottom line. So I'm listening to this woman that my daughter sent me her thing and she's like, you are the fucking algorithm. And I was like, oh my God. I am the algorithm. I am the I am. I am the algorithm. And there has been a huge shift in my social media presence and attraction from just picking that up like 4 or 5 days ago. So you are the fucking algorithm. Like you are the I am. If you believe that, like when you think about manifesting something and all of a sudden your mind tries to turn it into doubts, your mind starts to say, well, what if this happens and what if this doesn't happen and you don't want this to happen? Go back to the I am, and move from that energy, that faith, that trust, that I know who I am energy, and you will manifest. You will become a master of manifesting. And that's where I'm at. And it's super duper exciting. So if we get to choose, right? If we get to choose what we believe, so you can believe that there's a God who's playing puppet with your life. I used to believe that. I was in a religion that taught me that I had to pray and I had to beg and I had to like, please God, please save me. I had to do that because I was meek and I was, unworthy and all of that bullshit. Like I'm not ever going to believe that again. And it's one of the main reasons I left the church because the unworthiness thing, I'm just like, that's an epidemic in the world that needs to be cured. I need to get away from those sayings and those belief systems. So if you get to choose what you believe, then why would you continue to be a part of something that makes you believe you're powerless or makes you believe that there is this force out there that knows better than you, that has a will that's beyond yours, that that you can't be trusted with your desires because this God over here knows better than you. If you get to believe what you like, if a belief is just a thought you keep thinking, does that belief really serve you? Does it really serve your life purpose in moving forward? Now, people say, if you've got all these materialistic desires and you've got all this, and I get it because I used to be there where I wanted this sports car and I wanted the Mercedes and I wanted all this stuff and I couldn't connect with even why I wanted that stuff. I just wanted it to feel good and to feel freedom. I get that. I get that that's a very human perspective. But when you start getting into higher consciousness, when you start meditating, your desires change a little bit. They do. Like I am not as materialistic as I started out on this manifestation journey. Things aren't that important to me. In fact, I love to shop. You all know I love to shop. I love beautiful clothes. I love beautiful things. I love surrounding my house in beauty. But my husband, for my birthday, he had said he took me away and he did all this amazing stuff. And we stayed in this incredible place. And he's like, oh, I want to take you shopping. And I was like, I don't need to go shopping. Like he hates shopping, first of all. And I'm like, there is nothing I need. I think I needed a pair of sunglasses, which he bought me. I'm like, I don't need to spend time shopping with you. Like, this is so incredible. Like, I don't need to fill a hole inside of me. I'm already just overflowing with joy and gratitude. So your levels of, materialism and the things, your desires will change as you become more spiritual and as you connect with higher consciousness. Now, do I still want to be, around luxury? Do I still want to drive a Mercedes? Do I still want to live in a beach house? Hell yeah. Do I think that's wrong? Hell no. I do not think that's wrong. I think that's part of expressing. I think that's part of the infinite intelligence wanting to experience this stuff through us. Infinite intelligence is not physical. So it experiences stuff through us. And as we experience joy and love and abundance and freedom, infinite intelligence experiences it too. That infinite wisdom, that God, that source, that universal force, whatever you want to call it, is experiencing that with you and through you. Wow, chills. Seriously. So if you get to choose what you believe, why would you believe in something that makes you powerless? Why would you believe in something that limits your potential? It doesn't really make sense, does it, when you think about it like that? You get to choose. So why not believe I am more than enough? I am worthy of all of it. I am powerful beyond measure. Why not believe that you have the ability to manifest these dreams? Why not? Seriously, like that is so incredibly powerful when you really, really think about it. What do I choose to believe? What do I want to create and what do I choose to believe? Wow. Why would I choose a life of worry and anxiety when I can choose to live a life of peace and joy? Why would I choose to live a life of resentment and, yucky energy towards other people because I'm dragging the past around? If I get to choose, and you do get to choose, but you've got to get into states of higher consciousness where you start to separate yourself from those wounds, you start to heal, and you start to live life from a higher vibrational alignment. If a belief is just a thought you keep thinking and your response is what creates the next moment, then where are you consistently giving your power away? So where are those responses that you feel are beyond your control? That's where the work is. You got to go in, you got to journal, and you got to talk about those things maybe with somebody who's wonderful and who will help you to see the process that you need to go through so you can start gaining control over your responses. Remember, emotions are addictive. They're addictive. And drama is addictive. I see it all the time. And I'm realizing and recognizing that drama makes people feel relevant. It makes them feel something. It makes them feel powerful when they are, pushing their power over somebody else. We don't want to get it from there. We want to get it from the infinite stream. We want to get it from the higher vibrations. So we've got to release the addictions to these lower emotions and get into a higher state of consciousness by meditating, journaling, and healing and becoming more. So I talked about the podcast growth, the book reviews, the title. Okay. Meditate. Go into a deeper connection. How do you do this? Well, lately, what I've been doing, so I have a very long history with meditation, and I used to always just do it in silence. For years now, I've done guideds. I love Joe Dispenza. I love Fred Dodson. I love different, Tara, I think is the lady that I've listened to. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. What you're looking to do is just go behind the mind. You're just looking to quiet the mind. So if a guided meditation helps you, go for it. Lately, I've just been doing music because I'm in this whole I am thing. So it's like I just want a little bit of music to keep my mind busy. And then I'm in this state of super deep consciousness where I can feel higher vibrational alignment and energy. Joe Dispenza does some breathing ones where you hold your breath for a while. And basically, he talks about the tube of energy that comes up and you're kind of forcing fluid through your third eye. And those are super helpful to clear your energy field. You can also do dumping, which is where you journal before you meditate so you can get your to-do list out. And then if you go back to a thought that you already wrote down, you just go, oh, I already wrote that down. I don't need to think about it right now. So you just constantly interrupt thoughts and just go back to your breathing, back to the space, back to the zero state awareness. Clean up your self-talk. So if you've got a lot of doubts, if you've got a lot of crap, if you're tuning into frequencies with the shitty committee, I did a whole show on the shitty committee. You can look back in my episodes. Don't remember which one it is. I'll put it in the show notes. that shitty committee that tells you why you're not good enough or why you're not worthy or why you can't do it or all that limitation, you have to interrupt that enough times where it no longer has power over you. And even in my nature walks, which I've been doing for 3 weeks, I still often, I did not today, however, I still will have a thought. Yesterday I did, that I don't want to go. And that's just the mind. And I know that. I know the mind's going to play games with things that are going to expand and grow me. So I just don't listen. Direct yourself towards what you want consistently and constantly. What do I want? What do I want to happen? When you feel yourself getting into a negative vibration, or you feel like something happens and all of a sudden you're like, oh, I don't feel good. You got to go, why am I not feeling good? It's like, oh, because this happened. Oh, because this is the way I'm thinking about it. I just need to think about it like this. That is mastery. Pull your energy and focus back. So pull your energy and your focus back. So that quote, remember that quote, sometimes doing nothing is doing something. I'm doing something energetically. I'm putting out the energy of what I want. I'm not pushing it. Because when we push, a lot of times people push back, right? So if we just allow, a lot of times people come to us with what we wanted. Today, it was so funny. We went to a plant store. I needed to get a plant for my front pot. And I was with my daughter and I was really working because I have a lot going on, I have a lot to do, right? And here I am at a plant store and she loves the plant place. So she's walking around and looking at the koi fish and trying to catch butterflies on her hand. She's amazing. She's an amazing lesson for me. So I was just chilling. Like I just kept bringing myself down. Like, it's okay. There's plenty of time. I can do everything. I'll get everything done. And I had to go to the bathroom. So we separated. I went and paid. And she was like, I said, I'll text you. Come when I text you because I got to go. And she wasn't anywhere to be found. So I said, I'll just go to the bathroom and I'll probably end up bumping into her. So I walk through the whole place and I come up to the bathroom and it says, must get key from the cashier. And I was like, oh, really? I don't want to do that. Just let the door be open. And as I'm walking towards the bathroom, an employee with the key in her hand comes walking towards me and she goes, do you need this? This is so awesome. And I believed she was going to the bathroom and she let me cut in front of her. I was like, oh yeah, I'll be really quick. So I ran in, I went to the bathroom, I came out, she was nowhere to be found. I was like, that was literally like angelic. So I bring the key back to the register. And as I'm walking out, getting ready to call my daughter, she's like right there in front of my car. And I'm just like, God, everything just always works out, especially and always when you are in a high vibration and you are just chilling. And you're not in frustration, you're not in rushing, you're not in desperation. I could definitely be that way right now because there's, a million things to do, but they're all going to get done. So instead of being in that angst of the to-do list and, oh my gosh, there's not enough time, can you settle back? Can you relax? Can you trust? Because a lot of times what happens with like the to-do list and calming down is one of our funniest sayings right now in our house is calm down. So I was in a little bit of a discussion with my daughter and she said calm down. And it's so I thought it was a new saying that like was hip and just came out. I started laughing so hard and it totally dispersed the whole energy that was starting to get intense. And afterwards I found out she's like, no, I totally screwed up. I meant to say quiet down. And then I said calm down and I mixed it together. So calm down has now become a funny thing in our house. So calm down because being all angsty doesn't allow the universe to come and support you because you're like, if it's to me, if it's to me, it's up to me and I got to get it done. And like that pushing the energy field and being so serious and angsty and frustrated does not allow other people or other, forces from the universe to come in and support you. So I totally trust that's what's going to happen. So my to-do list is not just up to me. It's a co-creative effort, and that makes me feel really good, and that makes me feel really supported. So clean up that self-talk, and in order to allow new energies to transpire, you have to trust and you have to send good energy to what you want to manifest. You can't think about your manifestation in doubt and frustration and fear and like it's never going to happen and then have it happen. I mean, it will still happen. I've definitely manifested stuff in fear. It's just not as fun. You're literally creating through chaos, and that's not any fun. Change your responses so you start becoming a master of your manifestation process. So the reason why people don't manifest is because they get really excited about something and then they don't invite in universal forces and allow the energy to line up for them before they get frustrated and in doubt. And the frustration and the doubt slows the energy field down even more and sometimes blows up the whole manifestation process. So stop derailing your manifestations by sending them crappy, doubtful, bullshit energy and start trusting by being excited, thinking in solution mode, being in control of yourself and your emotions, and redirecting every time you need to. I'm telling you guys, this is constant and you've got to be consistent with it. It's work. It's work. It's not hard work, but it's work. And it takes focus, it takes determination, and it takes a solid intention of, I intend to feel good. I intend, to allow. I intend to create space. I intend to create a strong mastery of vibrational alignment. Those are huge intentions. So deep questioning of your responses, is this the same old response that I'm going to get the same old thing? Or can I create a new intention? Can I create a new response? All I have to do is change my response. That is literally a mantra in my head. All I have to do is change my response. All I have to do is send someone different energy. All I have to do is think about this person different. All I have to do is wrap this person in love and compassion and do it long enough so that that momentum is stronger than the shitty energy I've been sending them all along. It takes a little bit for that momentum to change and for the energy field to change. But once you start ramping it up, it does happen quite quickly. So at the end of the show today, I just wanted to read you something. First, I want to share, and I'm going to share this just so that I get committed to this. I love throwing these things out there so that I commit to them, because when I have an idea, like a creative idea, if I don't put it right out there, then, it's subject to my mind, right? And then my mind can very easily talk me out of it. So if I put it out, I have to do it because I have integrity with my word. So that's why I'm putting it out there to you today. So this is what I am intending. I have a new training that's going to be coming up probably mid-October. I'm going to do a little training. It's probably going to be around like $47. It's going to be a one-time training. I may open a private Facebook group. I'm not sure. I'm not sure how I'm going to lay it out yet. I don't have all the details. Like I said, it's just an idea, but it's one that I'm moving forward with. So it's going to be like a mindful manifestation mastery training. And there'll probably be several of these. And so $47, you get in there. I don't know, it'll probably be an hour and a half. I'll probably take questions if we do it in a Zoom setting. And it's going to help you up-level your game. It's going to help you. It's going to assist you in remembering who you are and awakening that powerful creator within you. So I'm really super excited about that. So keep an eye out for that. If you're not in the Manifest to Live Life Goldyn group, get in there. It's on Facebook. You can follow me. If you're not on Facebook, follow me on Instagram, and then I'll get you all the information for it. I'm also on TikTok all of a sudden, Live Life Goldyn on TikTok, because I just started getting inspired with these videos and I'm going to do a lot more of them. So I'm going to close with this. This was my Facebook post today, but I thought it would be a great thing to read and to help you remember. And we are at minute 58:07 right now. So you can fast forward to that every single day and listen to this every day and see what it does for you. If you only knew how incredibly special you are, if you only knew that you have the power to create that which you most want to live, if you only knew that life is truly working out for you no matter what it looks like right now, if you only knew that everything you have been through has been for great purpose and an important part of your growth, if you only knew that today is the day that you can radically change everything, if you only knew just how incredibly powerful your thoughts, feelings, and beliefs are, if you only knew that you chose to come here to experience all of it, if you only knew that if you took that leap of faith, the net would appear. If you only knew that if you just started to feel better and let go of all the worry and angst, life would rise to meet your better feelings. If you only knew you could trust and have faith, you would witness miracles. If you could just know and move from that knowing, you would see evidence of things turning in your favor almost instantly. If you truly knew that what you focus on expands, you would be much more deliberate about what you placed your attention on. If you only knew you are the master of the plan, it's all an expression of your greatest intentions. If you only knew. I think you know. I think it's coming. I think it's happening. I think we're all awakening to this incredible, powerful force in nature, this incredible, powerful force where we become the I am and we understand our power in this universe and we begin to exercise that power to its fullest potential. You come with me, just come with me on this, please. It's so good. It's so, so good. And it's so much fun and it's so delightful. And I just want everyone to know about it. And I want everyone to feel it and I want everyone to live it. And I hate to say it's my mission in life, but it's literally like, it's the driving force behind everything I do. And that's why, taking the money off the table, it's like if we really believed that abundance was infinite, and we really believed that our abundance comes from universal forces, we wouldn't be nickel and diming people. We wouldn't be so desperate for money. We would just allow the money to flow. Law of compensation says everything we give out is coming back. So be a good giver. When you're a good giver, when you give to yourself, when you give to others, when you truly understand the energy exchange and how beautiful that is, that's when your life truly becomes abundant, because there is currency in this world that is more than just money. Joy is currency. Love is currency. Extremely amazing experiences are currency because they all put you in a high vibrational field where abundance lives. And then you're in the flow of the universe, the in and out, the belief that money is an energy and it comes to me based on how I feel about it and how I feel about myself. So that is it for my show today. Keep an ear out, keep an eye out for this new training because it is going to up level people to a new place where they're going to be able to express and be powerful and create and become more. And that is so exciting. I'm super pumped about that. All right. I love you all. Peace out.